Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRFBets race of the day for Friday, June the 15th, race number 7 at beautiful Belmont Park, and you can bet it with your own DRFBets account. A $100 free cash bonus is available to new subscribers. Just head on over to drf.com/bet to learn all the details. Here's the field for Friday's race of the day. You can access free formulator past performances on the race of the day event page at drf.com. Download them and handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, and we'll begin with the number 1, Ambassador Jim. This is a 3-year-old stepping up to face older horses for the first time, Matt, but he's kept some good company recently, some real solid 3-year-old turf sprinters.
Yeah, you see the horse that won that most recent stakes race, Gadoo. He's going over to Royal Ascot, I believe, and you go to that run 2 starts back in the Bridgetown where he was only beaten 3/4 of a length for all the money. You've got a couple of nice names in there, Colton, Mississippi, Nootka Sound. I think this is a decent little horse. I think he actually stacks up competitively anyway from a buyer and a time form standpoint. I guess the question becomes, do you think he's going to get the pace that he needs to run at coming from what's likely to be mid-pack or rear?
This will be his 3rd start of the form cycle, and that was the pattern that resulted in his maiden win, coming from off the pace 3 starts back over this course and distance with a 78 buyer. The 2 Professor Snape is main track only. We hope he does not compete. We want a big field of turf sprinters on Friday. 3 is the Crocheron Kid, and we could just draw a line through his most recent start, the Kingston Stakes. He was 82-1 for a reason, and also he was up close to a very fast pace according to the Timeform US Pace Projector. This is a horse that gets bits and pieces with some competitive speed figures, and it's interesting to note that the last 2 times he ran on firm turf, a winner at 6-1 and just missing by 3/4 of a length to today's morning line favorite, Yummy Bear.
Yeah, he's very competitive. He has speed figures that make him a player in here. My big concern with him, and we'll get to another horse here momentarily, I just think this level is a problem for him. I think the open non-winners of 1 is an issue. He's done well. I know he got through that non-winners of 2 with the state bred condition, but it just feels like the open non-winners of 1, I just don't think he's good enough to win. I think he can get a piece, but I don't like him on top.
He's another horse that needs some pace up front, but we have a positive formulator fact for his trainer, David Donk. Over the last year, with 3-year-olds and up moving from route to sprint on turf, 3 for 10 and a $3.05 return on investment. The Crocheron Kid should be running late, but I agree with you. I'd prefer to use him underneath in single race exotics. The 4, Killybegs Captain, entered for main track only. So we'll move to the 5, Shecky Shabazz. This is a Pennsylvania shipper making his turf debut. He's done some good work on the synthetic surface, and he's got a little bit of turf pedigree.
Yeah, a little bit of turf pedigree. Cape Blancos, they're about 9% with the first-time turf runners. I mean, he's done some decent work on the synthetic, so you'd like to think maybe there's an easy sort of transition there. He also has a little bit of early speed, so I think that's going to be beneficial for him. I guess the question is, do you think he's actually this good? Because this is going to be a tough test for him.
If you believe that 80 buyer speed figure from the last race at Presque Isle Downs, and if you think he can slightly improve, he is a lightly raced 3-year-old after all that showed some good form as a 2-year-old. Maybe he can crack at least a very big piece of this at 15-1 on the morning line. He just couldn't show that speed last time out. He broke outwards from the far outside post, ended up 4 wide on the backstretch all the way through the turn. I like the fight he showed. This barn has done very well with limited opportunities in 2018. Perhaps this horse is a sleeper. He's a 0.5-1 turf winner, and his sire was a very good turf horse. The 6, Polar Jet, goes out for trainer Linda Rice. Now, McLean's Music is a very good sire, but only wins 6% with first-time turf runners. I guess Linda's hoping that if you go deeper in the female family, you find turf. The 2nd dam was multiple stakes placed on the lawn.
Yeah, I have to be honest. When you look at it, I didn't see anything really at face value. Like you say, you've got to dig deep to hope that this horse is going to be able to successfully transition over the turf. Linda also, the numbers recently anyway for this sort of move, they haven't been spectacular. Past year, first-time turf in sprint races, 2 for 25 with a 103 ROI. This is a horse that, again, on his best day, he has buyers that are fast enough to win a race like this, albeit on dirt. But, realistically, his recent form, he's been more of a nibbler.
And that's really the key. If he can run those dirt buyers, he has run 4 dirt buyers of 90 or greater in his career. He's going to be very tough, if not outright win this race, but it's a big ask switching to turf, but you're going to get a price for top connections, Castellano and Rice. The 7 is Pagliacci, and this horse on July 29th at Saratoga tried to go 2 turns. It was a tough spot in against next out restricted stakes winner Hieroglyphics, who won the Better Talk Now at the Spa with an 88 Beyer speed figure, and he didn't have much pace to run at from the back of the pack. The problem is the following month at Saratoga, he was a vet scratch, then he went away for a long time. I'm really not going to put much stock in the most recent start on the dirt. I don't think that's his surface. I do like the fact that Belmont's not clowning around with Pagliacci, wheeling him back on 8 days rest.
I like also that Jose Ortiz stays aboard as well. And you go back, like you say, that run up at Saratoga, I'm going to basically draw a line through it. If you do that, you're left with 2 very competitive efforts at Belmont Park and non-winners of one other than company. I think this is a nice horse. I question a little bit about the distance. I wonder if he wants to go a little bit farther than this 6 furlongs. But I have to be honest, he's the kind of horse that, depending on his price, I would be interested in using him underneath and even in some wagers using him on top as well.
I'll disagree slightly with you in that I think he's going to like this shorter distance. I go back to his May 21st mile race where he just sat a beautiful trip sitting in behind, loomed boldly at the top of the stretch and flattened out. And then that pace-setting try on July the 3rd where he had everything his own way and he just tired late. Maybe 2 turns or a mile and a 16th or a middle distance really isn't what he wants. Maybe 6 is a bit sharp and 7 down the road is what he wants. But I'm interested to see what Pagliacci does second time off that long layoff. Your morning line favorite is the number 8 Yummy Bear, who, like the Crocheron Kid, is dropping out of the Kingston Stakes, and he finished behind the Crocheron Kid. Again, I won't put much stock in that performance. This is a horse that also could be classified as a nibbler, Matt. Lots of seconds and thirds, and I gotta be honest with you, at a short price, I don't really see the edge he has over this field.
I don't either. From a speed figure standpoint, he's certainly fast enough to win. He is the other horse I made mention when we spoke. Sharon Kid, more of a nibbler to me than a horse that you want to key on top.
Let's talk about the number 9 Battle Station and use that in conjunction with our Timeform US pace projector. Our friends at Timeform don't believe that this pace will be that fast, or at least the race will favor horses on or near the early lead, and Battle Station is quick out of the gate as are most Wesley Ward trained horses.
Yeah, I think there's one way for Johnny V to go here. You break, you go right to the top, and hopefully you just say, come and catch me. The turf isn't an issue. You see that he broke his maiden in his career debut up at Saratoga, going 5.5 furlongs. He's a stakes winner on dirt. In many ways, I think he is strictly the horse to beat. Now, this has been a little bit of a peculiar move for Ward over the past handful of years, going dirt to turf in the second start off of the bench. But I just have to be honest. I think he's one of the best horses in here, and if that pace projector is accurate, I don't think they're going to catch him.
I don't think this is the strongest entry-level allowance in the world for the open horses. I think it's a good spot for a New York bred like Battle Station. You mentioned the winning turf debut where he broke out a little bit, but like most Ward horses, assumed command after a quarter mile and then dug in gamely over Barbarossa, who is now stakes place sprinting on the turf. You mentioned he's a multiple stakes winner on dirt, and I think he got enough out of his recent race on dirt to take a forward move second start of the form cycle. The 10 Axtel really improved last time out against $50,000 starter allowance foes. He got wired that day at a gigantic price. The Beyer speed figure, a career best effort. The problem was he was 39 to 1 that day. He won't be that price on Friday, but he'll still offer value.
Yeah, and he's kind of an interesting one because he doesn't have a winner's profile. He's 3 for 26, but you see he's run second or third on 11 occasions with that highest last out Beyer in the field with an 82. And it's not like the 82 totally came out of nowhere. Go back to last fall at Laurel. He ran races in the high 70s. I think he's going to get overlooked again. You're right. He won't be 40 to 1, but he might be double digits. And to me, he's the kind of horse that can spice things up for you.
Home Run Maker is the number 11 for Jeremiah Engelhardt. This is another horse trying turf for the first time. Into Mischief gets 12% winners from first-time turf runners. And this dam is a half-sister to a stakes-place turf sprinter. A winner last time out in a maiden special weight. I'm curious to see what we get, although I think we will get some tactical speed.
Yeah, worth noting that maiden special weight score was scheduled to go on the turf. It came off. It's always interesting to find out. Now you go to the turf for the first time and you face winners for the first time. I think there's a lot going against this horse. But look, throw out Jeremiah Engelhardt at your own cause because this is a horse and a trainer that really they've been rolling along at 26%.
The 12, Tis He the One, is returning off a 314-day layoff and was listed as a vet scratch last month at Belmont Park, so you have to worry about fitness. He is a first-time gelding for a tough barn in Linda Rice. The turf races are okay, at least that firm turf one, a 79 Beyer and only start number 3.
I do question, is this nothing more than a means to an end? Because you see when they got to the turf, they stretched him out immediately last year, and he ran okay in that run, 2 starts back in middle of July going long at Laurel. But I just kind of feel like this might be nothing more than let's get a race into him and stretch him out down the road.
Faced good company in Maryland, Do the Dance, the runner-up in the last 2 races, came back out of that August 5th effort to be stakes placed in the Find, a restricted race with an 83 buyer. Let's take a look at our top picks. I think it's a pretty wide open race. But we believe in the Timeform U-Ace pace projector. We believe in Wesley Ward's ability to get a horse fast out of the gate, and we think Battle Station can wire this field.
You know, if there was some other confirmed early speed, like proper speed, I understand Shecky Shabazz has a little bit of early gas, but I don't think he can run with Battle Station. If there was some other speed, maybe I'd be inclined to take a shot against him. But I think he clears off to the front, and really the question then becomes, I think he's going to be a short price. Who can you hook him up with underneath to try to spice some things up? I'm really interested in a little bit in that Axtell. I think he's going to get overlooked a little bit, and he's not totally impossible to get another minor reward at which would be a decent number.
I'm going to go with Battle Station as well. I went 9, 5, 10, and 3, and in the multiple race wagers, I'd use Battle Station, I'd use Axtell, the 10 at a price, and I also use a little bit of Shecky Shabazz. I respect these connections coming in, and as you mentioned, he can be close to the pace. We'll see if Battle Station can take him gate to wire on Friday in DRFBets Race of the Day. And again, if you're playing from home, great deal, new deal, $100 in free cash. What's better than free cash? Learn more at drf.com/bet. Approximate post time for race number 7 at Belmont on Friday, 6:18 Eastern. Best of luck.